I'm carrying a M18 that a TLR1 and a Romeo 1, and yeah, see when you shoot it, yeah. I gotta still work on cleaning that. Anyways, I took the safety off so I could put a Wilson Combat grip module on it, and then I put a little gas pedal on it.
Does this have a manual safety?
It used to. I took it off.
Oh.
I took it off. You can just, with most fire control units, you can just take the manual safety out and put a safety lever spring in it. Or a safety lever, not a spring, but it's just a little safety lever, or safety lever bar, whatever. It's like a $10 piece. And then the Wilson Combat grip module was only like 80 bucks. And I just like it a little bit. I don't like safeties on guns.
And is that sort of your everyday carry, or are you carrying
this
that
is,
because you're doing this?
This is my everyday carry when I open carry, but when I conceal carry,
Judge signed on it. I'm waiting for.
when I conceal carry, it's a Glock 19. Here, let's go back so I can point it in a good direction. When I conceal carry, it's a Glock 19 with a TLR 7.
So soon.
Yeah. TLR 7 is a little bit weaker of a light, but I like it for concealed carry. And then I put on True Glow night sights on it. But I don't know. I just like it. And it's an alien gear holster because, I don't know. Some people don't like it, but I'm a big guy, so if it's a little bit more comfortable
Do
on
you
my
carry
hip.
that on the inside of your pants?
Yeah. Because I like show and tell.
Your friend clearing his rifle as well.
Hey, open up the trunk.
What?
Open up the trunk, take my rifle with.
My bad.
So,
I got my pit bull on it.
I used to have Zev night sights on it though. So the Zev night sights kind of look like that. I'm not going one in the chamber.
I am.
You are? Okay,
You're not
well, I
going
guess I am
what?
too.
I am, because that's the legal stipulation for open carrying a rifle.
Yeah.
And Caboose, what have you got with you?
Oh, this is a Ruger MPR.
Oh, you got the MPR?
Yeah. It's cause I heard a lot of junk about Rugers about quality control and stuff.
Dude, I love the Ruger.
Yeah.
I got the 5.56. I think it's great, right?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
What's they win?
Pictures are being taken. It just is different. Like it's not something I'm used to.
Yeah, I know.
You don't get used to it.
You said you are carrying with one chambered.
Yes. It's a legal stipulation for open carry in Georgia is for a rifle to be open carried.
That it has to have one in the chamber, or just that you're allowed to?
Part of it is that if you have a round in the chamber, you have to open carry it.
Oh, I see.
So, being that I have a round in the chamber, it's on safe, and I'm never actually going to be touching anything.
Actually, I think I'm not gonna bring the camel back. I don't really have any.
And do you have the? Are you doing that too? The carrying the round in a carrying? Are you carrying around in a chamber too?
Yeah.
Okay. And like, why is that? Are you quite worried that something's going to happen?
Oh no, that's just how I always carry.
Yeah, it's literally the point of carrying if I have to.
Because I don't want to have to, if something does happen, you know, it's not really that we're expecting anything to happen. It's just, it's a practice makes perfect type deal. And if you never have to question whether you have one in the chamber or not, then that just reduces that hesitation. I'm debating on the camelback.
So
Yeah. Yes, you did. Oh, yeah. All the way out there in the whole march. Everybody.
Okay.
No guns allowed.
Yeah, no, not inside.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're just on public street.
They boarded up because of us?
I don't know.
Antifa. About last summer, a bunch of anti-fascists came and were throwing Molotovs and fireworks at this building.
Woo! Nice. Woo!
Fuck yeah.
Our government doesn't care about the people. We're here today because they have committed atrocities against people, just like many of us, with the only difference being a piece of paper.
This uterus collector performed unnecessary hysterectomies on dozens of women, sterilizing them. This isn't new. Our government constantly commits evil. Even after this wicked doctor answers for their crime, ICE will still detain several 100,000 people across 200 facilities, simply for being born on the wrong side of a line. I didn't vote for that. I wasn't consulted, and I do not consent. And we may not commit these atrocities ourselves, but we are still responsible. These things are being funded by our labor, money extorted from the people. It is our responsibility to speak out, hold our government accountable. To be silent or to do nothing is to endorse this evil. I won't be silent, and I know others won't be either. Liberty doesn't live on paper. Liberty lives in the hearts of we the people. So make your voices heard. And to the tyrants, let these people rejoin their families, free the children, open the cages, and fuck ICE.
Fuck ICE.
Fuck ICE.
Fuck 12.
Them too.
His name was Michael Hastings. His name was Rick Cutshaw, Gary Willis, Eric Garner, Frank Ordonez, Kelly Thomas, Samuel Weaver, Oscar Grant, Robert Lavoie. Her name was Vicky Reaver, Breonna Taylor.
I don't want to speak for you, but my impression was that you're an anti-fascist.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
What do you view as sort of the anti-fascist view of the Boogaloo movement? Like, what is your
my take or like the general take?
Both, I guess.
Well, I mean, my take is that we have more in common than a lot of people know. I mean, they're technically anti-fascist as it is. They're against fascist regime just like we are. But I think since they're more open carry and more liberty for everybody, they kind of get, I don't know where the right wing thing comes from. I think it comes from them showing up completely kitted with guns and being like very active two-way activists. Where I mean, like, leftists have guns, but they're not out like this. So we've actually gotten quite a bit of backlash for working with the Boog because everybody thinks that they're fascists. And, we're kind of like the city that I'm in. We're like, well, we're the ones out on the streets with them, so you guys can't say shit because you're not out here with them. We are.
Do you mean Atlanta or a different city that you came from?
Different city, different state.
Do you mind if I ask where?
Lansing, Michigan.
I identify as an anarchist. And our relation with the Boog is they're also anti-government, and that's what we want as well. So that's kind of where we can tie things together.
Oh, yeah. Let's do a thing.
Yeah, we can do a thing.
Yeah, let's do the thing.
Can we fuck first?
I don't really find any of these people.
I can't be myself around these.
I don't want to fuck them.
No.
Yeah.
I'll make the fuck out of
We as a country are better than this. Now, some of you may think, but Trump isn't in office anymore. Why are you guys protesting? The answer to that is that unfortunately these problems precede the Trump administration. Just a few days ago, the Biden administration announced new guidelines that would impose an ICE. However, it was Joe Biden himself who wrote the 1994 Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act, which diverted an extra $1.2 billion in funding for the predecessor of ICE back when it was called the INS. The guidelines are little more than virtue signaling on behalf of the Biden administration. As long as ICE exists, there will be human rights violations being committed by the agents of our government. We stand here today because we as Americans and as people refuse to stand idly by while our government denies basic human rights to people who come here to embrace the American dream and the American lifestyle. A new set of guidelines isn't good enough. We demand the complete and total abolishment of ICE and the strict scrutiny of every individual employed by them to determine who is and isn't fit for public service. We refuse to continue sponsoring human rights violations with the tax dollars they involuntarily seize from us.
Couldn't do it.
New gun laws, new threads.
Fair enough. Do you mind if I ask about Pepe?
Pepe?
Yeah. It's interesting. I haven't seen Pepe show up at events in quite a while. My footage was actually in a movie, a documentary about Pepe. It was called Feels Good Man. I would definitely recommend it. But it followed the guy who like originally created the character and then saw the character like evolve out of his control. But anyway, I'd be interested to hear what do you think of Pepe? why is he on your plate carrier?
Honestly, it was around the time when it was just like part of our meme thing that we do online to like bring people in and stuff like that. Like people get people with the movement and the ideas and stuff like that. But there's nothing real special about him. We just like the design, do some guns on him.
I'm not an open border person, but I don't believe in mistreating of people. And I don't blame police or anybody. I blame politicians because they're the ones that make the laws. And we're the ones that vote them in. So we're responsible for what happens all around in the country.
So while you're not an open borders person, what sorts of reforms would you want to see?
I'd like to see working visas given to the people. I'd like to get more investment in Central America because the United States, just like in Portugal, the United States supported the fascist dictatorship there. That's why it lasted so long. Yeah, so I think when people talk about reparations and this and that, I think we have to do some reparations in Central America and other places we've been screwed over. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Is there anything else you'd want to add for my audience?
No, that's it really. Just exercise your rights as an American because if you don't have them, you'll be like Portugal, have no rights.